What's up, Lions Nation? This is We Are Lions Nation podcast live on YouTube and Facebook. We are doing our game recap from the Lions and the Browns. We're going to update you on the injury report. Jeremy B is going to show us his hot and cold players, and Statman going to give us those key stats in that game. But before we do all that, Statman.
Hey, Jeremy B, the countdown begins
now.
What's going on? I'm glad to be back, guys.
Yeah,
Before we get into our post-game show, would I be able to say something for a dear friend of the shows?
Yeah,
yes, go ahead.
I was going to open up to that right now. So go ahead.
Let's give out many prayers and well wishes to Jim Bordeaux of Lions on the Prowl. He has been a great help to our show. He's been a great help to a lot of podcasters, whether they were Lions or not. He's very sick. He needs our prayers. He needs our thoughts. He needs our well wishes. My heart goes out to him and the Bordeaux family right now.
Yeah, I reached out to him as well, and it's hard to hear that. I'm praying for a speedy recovery, and I'll have him on my prayers tonight before I go to bed.
Absolutely. We all know what Jim has done for us and getting us our start. Many conversations with Jim. Anytime I message
and he
him,
kind of helped put us together.
Yeah, I mean, anytime I message him, he's always there to, give a hand, no matter how busy he is. So, Jim, from us, from our We Are Lions Nation podcast, get well soon, buddy.
Yeah, get well soon, man.
Prayers up. Also, another announcement for those of you that may have noticed that there is now a fourth member on this show right now. Dan Leonard is now officially part of We Are Lions Nation podcast. So welcome, Dan, to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We figure you were on quite a bit of the shows anyway, as Jeremy pointed out. Might as well bring you on the other two.
I thought it was because Jeremy just liked looking at my face because he thought I was pretty.
You know it, big guy.
Whoa. Calm it down.
Simmer down now. We got Zach J in the house saying prayers to Jim. He's a great guy. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I wonder because we haven't seen any Detroit Lions on the prowl hardly at all. I noticed
they have suspended production while he's sick. That's how bad it is.
Well, prayers up, Jim. I hope you see this, and I hope you get better soon, my man. So, guys, first thing I want to talk about is that subscribers, which right now we are currently sitting at 118 subscribers on our march to 1,000. So please, if you have not yet subscribed, please go to our YouTube channel. If you're not there, hit that subscribe button and make sure you're clicking that like button. Even when you're watching the show, please hit that like button. Let us know you're there, and that helps us out a lot with our YouTube stuff. So hit that like button, share with all your Lions friends and your NFL friends. And, we appreciate everybody that has so far. So thank you so much.
Yes.
Also, Wednesday night, 7 p.m., we are doing our Gridiron Chat, the new NFL show presented by a We Are Lions Nation podcast. Check us out every Wednesday night when we do that. We got what are we doing this week, guys? AFC North?
AFC East.
AFC East.
And I know we have one guest coming in who is a Patriots fan. A good friend of ours is going to be coming in to talk some Patriots football. And we're going to break down the AFC East and talk about the latest NFL news. That's all coming up this Wednesday night. Hope to see you all there as well. All right, so let's get into it. As you can see behind me, Lions losing to the Browns 10-13.
Abysmal.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it somewhat in the reaction show after the game. I know there's a lot of people that were pretty disappointed with that outcome. My overall thoughts are I think that the Lions played okay. I think they could have played better, especially in the QB spot. I listened to Boyle talk in his press conference. You know, I kind of liked what he said. I don't know if you guys got a chance to hear it or not, but he was pretty. I mean, he basically said, look, it was my first time starting. He even said, I don't have a lot of experience at all. So he's like, it's really new to me, but I feel like I was getting things down and, really, but he had to think about it. A guy comes in with hardly any experience at all. And I don't know, maybe give him some props for trying to do his best. I don't know, but I mean, after I heard his press conference, I did feel for him a little bit, and I could kind of understand, where he was coming from, being a first start and, not, all that. But what do you think, Stat Man?
I'll give him a D for effort. I'll be nice. You got to throw that inexperience in there. Obviously, he's not experienced, first game ever starting. Maybe the lights were just too big for him. I don't know. Time will tell, but hopefully Thursday we have Goff. At least he gives us somewhat of a chance to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that more in the pregame. But from right now, from Dan Campbell's press conference today, it sounds like that we will be seeing Jared Goff Thursday. Mm-hmm. He did.
I only got one thing to say, and that's thank God.
Yeah. I mean, but I get where Boyle is coming from, but I definitely would rather see Goff in there, I think, than Boyle any day.
Well, I heard all week about the cannon this guy has. He threw one deep pass where he overthrew his receiver by 3 yards straight to defenders. So I wasn't impressed with his cannon.
No, even the announcer said, we've been hearing about his cannon of an arm, but it's looking like a squirt gun right now.
I was going to say a spray bottle because it didn't even reach as far as a squirt gun. But right. Yeah, I get it.
Now, is Goff actually healthy, or is he going to just play hurt?
I know
he has been doing limited practice, mostly throwing, and he looks good. Yeah. It's more than a 60% chance he starts this Thursday.
And I hope our offensive line steps up like they did this last game and allows 0 sacks on Goff and allows him to sit back there and have time to find his receivers. Because I think Josh Reynolds was open on a couple of routes. The ball just couldn't get to him quick enough.
Yeah, and you could definitely see there was some missed throws, not very accurate with the ball placement. The one that stands out to me the most was the throw to DeAndre Swift. It wasn't anywhere near where it was supposed to be. So definitely needs some work. But, kudos for him for getting in there and trying to do it. You know what I mean? But some people are just not meant to start, maybe. I don't know.
And I know a lot of fans are upset about during the long downs where they went for runs. But at the point when he couldn't prove he couldn't hit anybody past 5 yards, you got 13 yards to go. You give it to your best playmaker, and that was DeAndre Swift on Sunday. I get the play calling on that. I didn't get it being a draw play again. I would like to see a sweep to the outside or something like that with Swift where he can get a little space and get some speed up.
Yeah.
I want to talk about him for just a second because this is now 2 weeks in a row where we've had DeAndre Swift over 100-yard rushing. 2 weeks in a row now. That guy's putting in the work, boys.
Do you know who the last running back to have back-to-back 100-yard games is?
I know it was in 2004. I want to say Kevin Smith.
I think that was just before Kevin Smith. That was right at the end of James Stewart, wasn't it?
Reggie Bush. I know Reggie Bush wasn't even drafted
Reggie
yet.
Bush didn't get drafted till 2005.
2005, yep.
Kevin Smith. I think it was James Stewart when we still had him on that rookie contract.
Yep, I do remember him. I loved him when he was with Detroit.
I mean, yeah, he was the 3 yards in a cloud of dust guy, because he was just more of a power back than a speed back. But he
Yeah.
was semi-elusive with his stiff arm and the way he would just shoulder check some linebackers.
Mhm.
What about Williams? We didn't see really too much out of him. Do you
I
think he's
still don't think he was. I think he was still semi-injured. He wasn't 100% because he wasn't hitting the hole with the same authority, and he really wasn't breaking through the line. Yeah, I think he had, what was it, 6 carries for 11 yards?
That's what I was thinking too. That's
7.
why I wanted to get your thoughts.
Okay, 7 carries. I was close. I think he's. I think his injury is still bothering him a little, and they brought him back too soon. He should have sat out till this week.
Yeah, I think there was something still bothering him in that game. Like Jeremy said, you just didn't see the same power going through the holes like he was before when he was healthy. So, yeah.
What about the power of Swift on that big run? I mean, he hurdled a guy, he stiff-armed another one, he bounced off a tackler. I mean, that was a pretty sick run. It was beautiful to see.
That's a guy that wanted to win. That's a guy that wanted that play.
I think we're starting to see that what DeAndre Swift can really do if the offensive line plays well, what he's capable of doing. He ran through the middle. He ran to the outside. He did all of it. And he was actually in the press conference video I watched, and you could tell that he wants this team to win, and he's all about 100% effort the whole time. Like, just his attitude was great during his press conference, so it was really cool to see. Hey, Dan.
Yes, it was.
I want to ask you, Penei Sewell is doing very well, and he did not allow anything. What was the stat that I know I shared it to you guys?
In 2 games, 0 sacks, 0 pressures, 58 snaps.
What do you think of that, Dan?
I think it's pretty damn good. Like I said, that guy should be your franchise left tackle for the next 10 to 15 years. He's the second best tackle statistically in this draft, and they're both playing amazing.
Yeah. Now, he did move, correct? He's moved now from where he was. What didn't they move?
He's at right tackle.
And he's still doing exceptionally well. And people were worried about him moving, and he's kicking ass, but he is. And that's awesome.
Well,
now we just need to replace the right guard.
On the left side, he faced everybody's elite talent. He had 3 bad games out of all those games at left tackle. Now you move him to right tackle where he's up against the weaker side of a D-line. He should be better. He should be like this because he's not usually facing that elite talent that's on the left end.
Daniel Davis says Boyle might have a cannon for an arm, but he is next to nothing for accuracy.
Yep, I agree, Dan.
Yeah, I mean that was clearly the case. I agree with Statman. I think Reynolds could have had at least a few catches in that game if it wasn't for inaccurate throws.
Hey, depending on your wide receiver, accuracy doesn't matter. Dante Culpepper was a horribly inaccurate quarterback. He could just throw it real far.
Right.
That's true.
So all he did was launch it down the sideline and let Moss and Carter run under it.
Exactly. Randy Moss is the best center fielder in all of football.
Yeah. Good point. Statman, let's talk about your key stats.
Are we going to bring up injuries first?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I was looking right at it too. My mouse is on it, and I went to the stats. I don't know what I'm thinking, but and you guys, if you have anything to add from this, please do. This is what I have. I had Vaitai did not return with a concussion. Deshaun Hand with a groin injury, and AJ Parker with an ankle injury is what I have.
But I believe AJ Parker did return to the game, if I remember right.
Yep.
He'll be fine. Vaitai with the concussion, that's kind of sad because he's actually been playing way above what people expected him to do at right guard. And it wasn't his ankle, it wasn't his foot, which is what he's had issues with in the past. So this is something different. He's never been concussion prone before, so I hope he gets well soon.
Yeah, and I want to clarify that the injuries for the post-game report for anybody watching are just from that game. Like, I only put the stuff down that happened in the game, not, if they're fine now or not. So I just want people to know that's why those names are there. I don't know if anybody else got hurt that I seen. I don't think so.
No, that's the 3 that got hurt in the game.
Let's talk real quick before we go to the stats. Well, let's bring them up, and then we can talk about what the next thing I wanted to see. So, Statman, go ahead. What's the key stat?
Tim Boyle, 15 for 23, 77 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Pretty much what everybody expected before the game started. Like I said, he's inexperienced. First game he's ever played. Offensive line allowed 0 sacks. And I also want to add on, Penei Sewell not allowing a single pressure or sack in that game or quarterback hit. That is insane. Mm-hmm. DeAndre Swift, of course, 14 carries, 136 yards with a 9.7 average and a big touchdown in that game. I just had to throw his stats out there because he just keeps doing it week in and week out.
Defensively, it wasn't bad. We gave up 130 yards on the ground to Chubb, but 0 touchdown.
No, that's where I was going to get to after the stats. I wanted to talk about the defense. I mean, the score was 10-13, but I think the defense played well. I think they did okay job until the very end with Chubb. I think they had a hard time at the end because they were so wore out. I just don't think they had it in them to tackle him anymore.
4 consecutive 3-and-outs before that final drive.
Mm-hmm.
4.
And I want to say, too, our defense played well enough getting the 2 takeaways from Baker Mayfield's poor throws, and we played well enough to win defensively. It's Tim Boyle and the passing game that killed us. We were one-dimensional. One play in defensively that I want to call out because we traded for this bum mofo, Michael Brockers. When they were in the Wildcat on the 16-yard line, and it was hiked to Jarvis Landry, and Jarvis Landry was looking to throw the ball because he was a converted quarterback in college. Mm-hmm.
He was looking to throw the ball. There was no one open. Brockers comes through the line. He gets an arm length away from him and doesn't realize he has the ball because he wasn't paying attention when the ball was snapped. When he reached back and grasped at air as Landry ran past him, you know what it reminded me of? That guy that got broke up with at prom reaching back for his date going, no!
Don't run away.
That's horrible, man.
But it's true. You go back and watch it. That's exactly what happened.
I like the thought of what Statman said. I think that even maybe last week too, if I'm remembering correctly, I think we are starting to take advantage a little bit better of those opportunities when they come. As far as the Lions defense goes, I know that's something we talked about that they need to do when that opportunity presents itself. Take advantage of it, get that turnover, catch that ball for the interception.
Wasn't there a pick 6 called back in the Steelers game?
I think so.
On a defensive holding.
Yes.
And I believe Dan Campbell even mentioned that too in his press conference, that was something that they were starting to do, was be able to take advantage of those, before. I feel like, I know it's late and we haven't won, but I feel like pieces are starting to come together a little bit in that defense, especially in the defensive backs, where we're starting to see them make more plays. And I want to ask you guys about one thing that Dan Campbell said in his press conference was he put a lot of it too on the penalties. And I know we talked about this kind of in the reaction show, but how much did those penalties really cost us in this game?
When they did get first downs on third down, there was a call back for a holding penalty. That was 4 of the penalties that was called, which granted they were of the 5 and 10 yard nature at the time. But those are drive killers when you have a first down and it's called back. Because now you just put yourself into a hole that isn't in that good down and distance we talk about. I've talked about down and distance all year long. You can't have those type of mental errors when you're at the right down and distance.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like we get a first down play, for example. Oh, all of a sudden we get a good 6-yard run. Oh, called back for a holding. In our next 2 runs, we get 6 yards and then 8 yards. We would have had a first down if we didn't get that holding call. So
Holding
yeah,
penalty to call.
the penalties kill us, and it always seems like they come in crucial situations where we need a first down or we're on key drives where we need to score to get back in the game, and it seems like it happens to us.
Yeah, it seems like it's that we actually get the play, but we'll need that first down, crucial first down, and we get it.
And then Jonah Jackson, remember it went to break, and we come back and it's a unsportsmanlike conduct on him because he said something about somebody's mom. Like,
Well,
that's unnecessary stuff.
I heard Clowney was getting in his face because the pressure was coming from Clowney on that side. He was getting inside of Decker and going through Jonah Jackson.
Mhm.
And he said something about that to Jonah Jackson, and the refs didn't see all that. All they saw was him turn around and say, "Yo, mama."
I don't know
Well-
if I've ever seen a game where there was a penalty during the commercial break like that in a long time. If I have, I don't remember.
It's been at least 20 years since I've seen something like that.
I'll tell you what, I was not expecting to come back from that commercial break and there'd be a penalty on the
Oh, yeah, because we had great field position at the time. That killed that field position because it's an unsportsmanlike 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
Now
it
you're
killed
at
that
first and
drive.
25. Now, what I don't like is that 9 times out of 10 when there's a penalty between the plays like that, it moves you back, but it's still first and 10. I want to know why this time it was first and 25.
And a lot of times too, and Dan, I'll go to you for this. A lot of times too, no matter what they're doing on the drive, when you get a penalty that's a drive, a drive killer,
Mhm.
like I don't understand why it stalls out so bad sometimes. Like that penalty just kills it. And
Well, it kills your play calling. You only have so many plays that can get you 25 yards
Mhm.
in your playbook. Especially with an inexperienced quarterback like we had in Boyle. You're not going to have a lot of plays drawn up where he's throwing downfield. I'm sorry. I don't care.
You think
how
they
good of a
gave
cannon.
Goff a dummy down playbook? You know what they gave Tim Boyle?
2 plays.
Run, pass.
Mhm.
Crossing
quick
route,
pass.
deep route, Hawkinson. That's what he was
what?
given.
It doesn't even matter if it's Boyle or Goff. First and 25, most likely they're not going to convert because you guys don't have the deep pass in your repertoire right now.
Mm-mm.
They don't.
Well,
You run-
that's what we
you
were
run that
hoping.
ball.
Now, does anybody else hope they activate Travis Johnson this week to see if that opens up the deep passing? Because with him and Reynolds, I don't think they can stop the deep pass then.
I'd 100% agree with that.
Well, and we haven't actually got to see Reynolds in action because Boyle wasn't going to get him the ball anyway, really. It's going to be interesting to see. But wait, it'll be interesting to see Thursday if Goff starts, what kind of difference that'll make when it comes to Reynolds.
I'm hoping it does because he has familiarity with him.
Yeah.
His rookie, Josh Reynolds' rookie year was Goff's second or third year, correct?
Mhm.
Second year, and that was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
And Reynolds actually played very well that year.
Hey, got something slightly off topic, but the Titans just signed Golden Tate.
Good for them.
Wow.
Good for him.
You know what's weird about that, Dan, is today Golden Tate released workout footage on Instagram wearing a Detroit Lions helmet.
Nice. But they
I-
cut in
Dan Davis.
for it.
Dan Davis, that rule is stupid. Unsportsmanlike penalty for a yo mama joke. That's the dumbest thing I have ever heard. I can guarantee worse has been said in a pile back in the day. The league is getting soft.
The world is getting soft.
It is.
What confused me about that
Hurts
penalty
people's
was
feelings.
normally when it goes to a
No
commercial
breaks.
break, I'm pretty sure that the game stops and there's a guy like holding up a red flag that stops it, correct? Is that true?
Yep.
That's true.
I agree, Dan.
So what? What did I miss?
Nothing.
did I
It's
miss?
snowing outside.
Are we ready?
Yeah, it was great. It was just funny.
What happened?
He pointed at you and said, "Snowflake."
You didn't even hear it. Oh, Dan's booted. Oh man, he booted you quick.
He is a vengeful god.
Just like that, Dan. Just like that. I can crush all your dreams.
We love you, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Man, I didn't hear it. Or else I would have said something. But I didn't hear
Oh, he just mouthed the words, and I just was like, I couldn't help it. I just started laughing.
You know what really surprised me is that we have quite a few people watching right now, but nobody's commenting.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I guess they just don't want to talk to us. I don't know.
We do got Tom and Amy saying LOL.
They think it's funny too.
Sorry, buddy.
No, I'm going.
Oh.
You know, Logan, one time we did this show. It was just the Soul Man and the Stat Man.
On audio.
Remember those?
I
days?
want to apologize to our Lions faithful. I got a little bit too negative on Sunday, and I think it bled into our fans that joined us on the reaction show. But it's wearing on me to see these type of mistake-filled games so bad. It's wearing on me. It's wearing me thin. And I overreacted a little. Parts of this roster, yes, is bad. And mostly at every position other than O-line, some of the D-line, and maybe the secondary, because we didn't expect the UDFAs to be playing as well as they were. And that's pretty much it for me. I mean, Tracy Walker, I knew he was a good free safety. He never should have been moved to strong safety last year, but Patricia's an idiot.
Well, we need to get to this comment. But before we do, JB, thank you for what you just did. Appreciate that, buddy. Zach J says, Jonah said, your mama's so fat. I said it was chilly outside, and she ran outside with a bowl and a spoon.
Boom, mic drop.
How's that 15 yards?
Is that what he really said?
I don't know, but that's funny. I thought he said something like, your mama's so fat she broke her leg and gravy spilled out.
Dan Davis says LMAO Zach J.
Hey, the A word is said on regular TV, so that is acceptable because that is PG-13. So laughing my ass off, Zach J.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Everything is allowed on regular TV now.
Except
Logan,
the F word, the B word on most shows except primetime.
How's your mic working so well, Logan, when you're just flinging it around like that?
I don't know. You guys can't hear that?
It's weird. Yep.
Testing
We're
mic 1 2.
Ow, quit slapping me. You're not my girlfriend. Don't do that.
Dan, what is so funny, Dan?
Nothing. I can't say it.
Control yourself.
I am.
We are. I could have said much more. And Dan knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know, Logan.
We'll talk about it off the air.
This friendship
Let's see.
down here bubbling. I don't know about it. We might have to.
I was laughing at Logan and his mic up there.
Yeah, that's what I had to do it.
Because he was doing this.
What
Oh,
did
yeah,
I
'cause
say
he's
that
slapping that-
like before,
He's
Andy?
slapping that thing around like he's holding himself when he's trying to get it ready.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't going there.
I was.
Okay, now back to
I didn't
football.
say ready for what.
Back
Come
to
on now.
football. Back to football.
Back to football. Back to
JB,
football.
Before
DeAndre
you
Swift,
do-
out of those key stats, DeAndre Swift, what he has done has been fantastic the last 2 weeks. Last week, he had no Jamal Williams. Basically, this week, he didn't either. He says, I'm going to show you why I'm your number one all-purpose back.
He
Yep.
did, and he has, especially the last 2 weeks. But
If they put Jamal Williams in on the first down of the first drive again, I'm going to scream.
unless he can step it back up,
Until he looks 100%, he should not be the starter.
See, my older brother always brought up that point because he played running back in high school, and he says sometimes it took him to get into a rhythm to get going, and I think that's with Swift too, or any other running back. You just got to give him the repetition and carries. Eventually, he's going to break one. He's just that talented.
I was going to say the same thing. I feel like Swift is finally coming into that zone where he's just becoming Swift, like we all hoped he was going to be. He's starting to get it now. He's full bore, 100%.
And is Jamal Williams not wanting to get another half a game check because of being injured? That's why he ran tentative.
Hey guys, we got Bolt fan in the house. What's
up,
Lions Nation? Glad I made it.
What's up, Tyler?
What's up, Tyler?
Hey, what's going on, Tyler?
And we got Victor hopping in. He said, I know it's Lions Nation, but what happened to the Giants, Dan?
Jason Garrett sealed his coffin.
He sure did.
If those of you that don't know, Dan is our local Giants expert. So any Giants...
I want to comment on that. Please, Detroit Lions front office, take a page out of the New York Giants book.
And hire Jason Garrett.
No. And fire Anthony Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, might as well. Dan Campbell's calling all the plays anyway. What's the point of Anthony Lynn still being there?
We know that's not going to happen. Dan Campbell already said there isn't going to be any coaching change.
No, he said he doesn't like to. He didn't say there wouldn't be any. There's a big difference in that statement.
I guess.
Dan Campbell doesn't have to worry about saving his job right now. Joe Judge did.
Right.
Dan Davis says, I hope Jamar Jefferson gets to play again this year. He was starting to look good before going down with that injury.
Well, that's the second time he's injured that ankle, so they might be bringing him back a little bit slower.
And Victor says, yes and never, Dan.
Hiring Jason Garrett would be 3 times worse than keeping Anthony Lynn.
There's a 50-50 chance on that.
You know what I don't get? We'll get back to the we'll go to the hot and cold players in just a second, but I do want to ask, I think Tony, after watching that game last night, is a very talented wide receiver.
And he looks underutilized.
Yes, exactly. He is not getting the ball enough. What is going on with that?
Because Jason Garrett does not have the imagination for gadget plays like that. He has never been that type of an offensive play caller, even his whole time at Dallas. His idea of his gadget play that he would use every now and then is Zeke would run up with the ball and then just toss it back to the quarterback for a flea flicker. That's about it.
Yeah, I just wonder. I watched the game last night. My first time really watching him play, and I feel like that guy is super talented.
He's very underutilized.
Absolutely.
Do they use him in the return? Do they use him in the return game like they did in Florida?
No, not right now. But
why not?
They have Dante Pettis usually returning kicks and stuff like that, and Dory Jackson.
Are both of those that good?
No, but why get your wide receiver hurt? My view on it is this: the Giants don't know how to use freaking any of their plays. Jason Garrett's offense is worse than freaking Anthony Lynn's. We have a run right up the middle, we have a curl, and we have a slant. That's it.
I have one more thing to talk about, a little off topic from the Lions. Did anybody watch the Pistons games the other night between the Lakers and Pistons?
Yeah, I did.
That move by LeBron James has to be the wussiest move I've ever seen a player do. You basically swing backwards and sock a guy in his eye and then run.
He did.
Yeah, it was a cheap shot.
Well,
granted, Isaiah Stewart is a big guy and probably would have manhandled him into a LeBron sandwich. And he probably still will. And they play each other again this weekend.
He did chase him down back in the locker room. He chased after him.
And he apologized and said the hit was meant.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies after the fact instead of face-to-face mean about as much.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I watched that, and you definitely see it was a flagrant for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should have been a flagrant 2, where he's automatically ejected, and the Pistons get the ball. What I don't like is they suspended LeBron for 1 game and Isaiah Stewart for 2. And Isaiah Stewart had every right to retaliate the way he did.
Yeah, he did.
Another random thought real quick. I just got a thing across my phone saying on December 9th, Michael Strahan is going to space.
I think he's going on that next Elon Musk rocket, right? Isn't that what that's about?
Whatever the Blue Origin one is, but that's pretty cool.
Yep.
I tried on it.
Maybe he won't come back.
Maybe they should send Anthony Lynn with him too then.
Yeah, they should. They should. Talk about.
All right. Moving forward.
Yeah, we got to get the sponsor. That's what I was getting to next, JB. So if you wouldn't mind, kind sir.
Let's give a special thanks to A1 Tire and Auto Repair, 2 locations to serve you in the Tri-Cities, soon to be a 3rd. We have 945 East Genesee in Saginaw. We have 1023 Broadway in Bay City. We sell new and used tires, custom wheels, and we also do window tinting at the Saginaw location. Mention this ad, get $10 off. The future location will be also in Bay City on Old Cook Holland Road.
Perfect, Jeremy B. Thank you. Hey, Statman, are you up for some merchandise shout out?
Yes, sir. Check out wearelionsnation.com for all your up-to-date gear for We Are Lions Nation podcast. Also, check out that sweet bucket hat that I have myself. I've also worn it on the show. And that Smoking That Hopium hoodie from 1934.
Bam.
Bam. Also, while you're watching, if you got a fan that's watching with you, tell them to go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and share it with the rest of your Lions fan friends.
Share with all your friends, not just your Lions fans.
Well, yeah, because we also do the NFL now, too.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Different division every week.
And we're going to have a playoff special, and we will also have a draft special this year. So
I'm so looking forward to a draft special. I've been doing research already.
Lots of things to look forward to. It's going to be a fun off season as well. I cannot wait to get into the big debates in the off season. I think it's going to be fun. Really
As
fun.
good as they say Kayvon Thibodeau is, guess who is the only defensive player rated higher than 85 in all of NCAA football this year?
Who is that? Aiden Hutchinson?
You would be absolutely correct, sir.
So how much research on Matt Corral have you been doing?
I've done a lot of research. He still has some things that makes him look like a project quarterback. I do not believe in project quarterbacks in the first round, personally.
Well, JB, we're getting close to that area, so let's go ahead and get into your hot and cold players of the week.
Well, the hot players was Swift, A.J. Parker, Jerry Jacobs, and Penei Sewell. You can give an honorable mention to Hawk, but it really didn't equal anything other than a couple of first downs. Pretty much our cold players, Tim Boyle, Josh Reynolds, and pretty much the rest of the team. And I'm going to say it again, especially Michael Brockers.
I'll go first. I 100% agree, especially with your hot players. I think you nailed it there. And your cold players as well. I mean,
Especially
I
Brock.
don't know. Yeah. What do you think, Statman?
What's that?
What do you think of
Sorry.
the hot and cold players?
Yeah, I agree with him. So I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. That's why I don't have my camera on.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I knew he was doing something else. That's why.
I know you're trying to purposely freaking throw me under the bus here, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Dan, what are your thoughts? Hot or cold players? You agree?
My thoughts are if Logan goes look in the mirror, he's going to see the word Goodyear across the side of his face. How quick you can remember that bus. I agree with his hot and cold players. I've been saying for weeks now that Michael Brockers is the biggest waste of money on that entire roster.
Yep.
There's somebody that big with that kind of contract to be that worthless is ridiculous.
He makes Trey Flowers look good.
Trey Flowers is good.
I know.
The guy on the when that used to be, I think it was the Redskins. What was that guy?
Albert Hainsworth.
Yes.
Albert Hainsworth, who was fantastic as a Titan for his first 4 years that he was in the league. He gets that big contract from Dan Snyder and started to look like Eddie Lacy did for Green Bay with his second contract. Turned into a giant double cheeseburger with bacon.
He looks like Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, I mean,
Mariano.
we're gonna just give a quick final thought, a final take on the game, starting with you, Statman, or Dan. Let's start with Dan.
Let's start with Dan.
My final thought on the game was that even though the team played bad, to be able to keep that score to only 13 points, the defense stepped up.
Yep, agree.
Except for Michael Brockers, who gave up that last touchdown to make it 13 at the end of the half. Because technically that score should have been 9 because that was third down when that happened.
But you figure the
JB.
Browns put up 40, a week ago?
Yeah, they put up 40 a week ago. And everybody talks about how bad this Lions defense is. Back-to-back weeks, we gave up less than 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
JB, your final thought.
Thank God Tim Boyle probably will not be starting this week because after one game, I had enough. He's a backup for a reason.
Statman.
Our team played well enough, especially defensively, to win that game. Our quarterback fell short, and that's where I'm going to leave my final thought.
Yep, and my final thought, I 100% agree with all of you. I think the defense held up well. I think at the end they were exhausted, therefore had a hard time with Chubb right at the end there. But overall, I think quarterback play really didn't help at all in that game. And I think with a little bit better quarterback play, maybe the outcome could have been a little different. Now, JB, I want to go to you. You tend to like to do this. Something that we really care about and that we've been trying to promote. So you know what I'm talking about. So go ahead.
Yes. Suicide awareness, mental depression, anxiety. If you're feeling like you're being bullied, whether on the internet or in person, and you need to reach out, there is the National Suicide Helpline. There also is us. You can reach out to any of us at any time. We will offer advice. I'm a little old school. I'm going to tell you to punch the bully in the nose because that's what used to work when I was a kid. But in all seriousness, if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out because we don't want to lose anybody to anything.
Yep. Reach out. Make that phone call. No matter what. If you're feeling like you're feeling a certain way, reach out, make a phone call. That will stop. That will help 100%.
And the suicide rate for vets is every 22 minutes. I was mistaken.
Yep. The number.
It's still too many.
The number is down at the bottom.
Way
of the
too many.
screen. If you can see that, write that down. If you need to, reach out. There will be someone there to help you for sure. Thank you, Jeremy B, for doing that for us tonight. Last thing we got to do tonight, and that would be Mr. Statman.
Did you guys miss that Sunday?
Mm-hmm. You know,
Well,
All right. Here we go. I'll close us out. Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. Rah, 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 go hard, win the game. With honor you will keep your fame. Field and gain a Lions victory. Go!
Oh, Lions! Someday.
we got it. We're gonna get it
Thursday.
this Thursday. That'll be it. That'll be the first victory. Hey, I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. A little bit lackluster on the old comments tonight, but that's okay. We'll let it slide. But thank you all that did watch tonight. And again, a big shout out and get well soon from all of us to you, Jim Bordeaux. over there at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Wish you all the best and hope you get better real soon, my man.
Peace, love, and happiness for all, please.
That's right. For Smoking Jeremy B, our newest member, Dan the Man Leonard, and the Stat Man, I am the Soul Man. And this has been We Are Lions Nation podcast. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for Gridiron Chat.
One pride.
One pride.